Hello dear children, we are discussing chapter number 13, surface areas and volumes. Since so many days we are discussing this chapter and we have solved so many examples from all the exercises of this chapter. Since last two video lessons we are practicing the solved examples of this chapter, and today we will complete the last two solved examples, and that will be the end of this chapter for us then. So let's first discuss the remaining two examples of this chapter. This is example number 10. A copper rod of diameter 1 centimeter and length 8 centimeter is drawn into a wire of length 18 meter of uniform thickness. Find the thickness of the wire. So clearly the sum is based on volume and it is converting volume of one shape to the other shape. So let's first try drawing the diagram. We have been given a copper rod and the copper rod has a diameter of 1 centimeter. Its length is given to us, so we'll consider that as height. So height of the rod is given to us as 8 centimeter. Now this rod is drawn into a wire. So the wire has length of 18 meter. We will consider this length as height of the wire. So height of the wire is 18 meter and the wire has uniform thickness. What we have to find is the thickness of the wire. So clearly our formula first would be volume of copper rod is equal to the volume of the wire. So let's find out one by one. The copper rod is in the form or in the shape of a cylinder which has a diameter of 1 centimeter. So its radius would be half centimeter. The height of the rod is 8 centimeter. So now it's easy for us to find its volume because we have all the values here. So volume of a copper rod, it is given by the formula pi r square h. Let's substitute the values. So it is pi into 1 by 2 the whole square into 8. So pi into 1 upon 4 into 8. You can cancel out this 4 and 8. So 4 and 4 2s are 8. So what we are left with is 2 pi centimeter cube. That is the volume of the rod. Alright, now let's find out volume of the wire. Now to find out volume of a wire, this wire is also cylindrical in shape. We do not have radius, so we will consider the radius of the wire as r. Now length of the wire is given to us, that is nothing but the height of the wire. Height is given as 18 meter, but we have to convert this into centimeter because all other units are in centimeter. So 18 into 100. So we are converting meter to centimeter. So 18 into 100 is equal to 1800 centimeter. That is the height of the wire. Now volume of the wire, since the wire is cylindrical in shape, so volume is pi r square h. Let us substitute the values. So pi r square into height we have calculated as 1800. We are not going to substitute value of pi here because ultimately when we will equate the volumes, the pi will get cancelled. And the radius of the wire we have considered as r. So let's now do that. Let's equate the volume of the rod and the volume of the wire. So volume of the wire we have just calculated as 1800 pi r square and volume of the rod is 2 pi. Now from both the sides we can cancel out this pi. So what we are left with is 1800 r square is equal to 2. From this we can find out the value of radius of the wire. So r square is equal to 2 upon 1800. This 2 and 18 you can cancel. So 2 9s are 18. So what we are left with is r square is equal to 1 upon 900. So r is equal to square root of 1 upon 900 and square root of 1 is 1 and square root of 900 is 30. So R is equal to 1 upon 30. So we got the radius of the wire as 1 upon 30 centimeter. Now what we have to find out is the thickness of the wire. And the thickness of the wire is nothing but the diameter of the wire. We have calculated the radius of the wire, so its diameter will be 2 into its radius, that is 2r. So let's substitute the value of r here. 2 into 1 upon 30, so that is equal to 1 upon 15 centimeter, and this is the thickness of the wire. So easy sum, we have calculated the thickness of the wire, that has come equal to 1 upon 15 centimeter. Alright, so easy sum, not very difficult, you can easily do it. Let's move on to the next sum. This is example number 11. Look at the sum. A hemispherical tank which is full of water is emptied by a pipe at the rate of 3/4/7 liters per second. How much time will it take to empty half the tank if it is 3 meter in diameter? We have been instructed to take value of pi as 22/7. Now understand the sum. A hemispherical tank. So the shape of the tank is hemispherical. This tank is full of water, and we are given that the water is emptied by a pipe at the rate of 3/4/7 liters in 1 second. So the pipe is taking out water from the tank, and in 1 second it is taking 3/4/7 liters of water. We have been asked how much time will it take to empty half the tank. Alright, and the diameter of the tank is 3 meter, which is given to us. Now since we have been instructed to find how much time will it take to empty half of the tank, we will first find out the volume of the full tank, and then we will find volume of half the tank. Alright, so let's see how the sum goes. We'll first find out volume of the tank. Now tank is in the shape of hemisphere, wherein diameter is 3 meter. So the radius is half of that, which is 3/2 meter. Now volume of the tank is given by the formula 2/3 pi r cube, that is the volume of the hemisphere. If we substitute all the values, we'll have 2/3 into 22/7 into 3/2, its cube. So 2/3 into 22/7 into 3/2 into 3/2 into 3/2. Let's see what all things we can cancel. So let's first cancel this 3. You can cancel out this 2. Also you can cancel out 2. 11s are 22. Alright. So what we are left with is 99/14 meter cube. This is the volume of the tank. Alright, now understand one thing, that it's given that the pipe is emptying this hemispherical tank at the rate of 3/4/7 liters per second. So we are given the water in liters. We have calculated the volume of the tank in meter cube. So what we will do, we will first convert this meter cube into liters. So 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. So 99/14 meter cube will be equal to 99/14 into 1000 liters. So that is coming equal to 99,000/14 liters. Alright, so this is the volume of the hemispherical tank. But the volume of the water to be emptied is from, what we have to empty is half of the tank. So volume of water to be emptied is equal to half into volume of the tank. So let's substitute the values. We have 1/2, and volume of the tank we have just calculated. It is 99,000/14 liters. So let's substitute the value here. So 1/2 into 99,000/14 liters, and this is equal to 99,000 upon 28 liters. Alright. So how much water is to be taken out from the tank? It is 99,000 upon 28 liters. Alright. Now see, we have been given that the tank is emptied at 3 4/7 liters in 1 second. So in 1 second, 3 4/7 liters water the pipe is taking out. Let's convert this mixed fraction into a proper fraction first. So look here, 3 into 7 or 7 into 3 is 21. 21 plus 4, you have to add it. That will give you 25 upon 7. So 3 4/7, this mixed fraction we have converted into proper fraction, that is 25 upon 7 liters in 1 second. Alright. So I'll say like this, time taken to empty 25 upon 7 liters is 1 second. So I'll find out time taken to empty 1 liter of water from the tank. So that will be 1 upon 25 upon 7. So 1 upon 25/7 is 1 into 7 upon 25 second. Alright. We have already calculated that volume of water to be emptied is 99,000 upon 28 liters. So we have calculated time taken to empty 1 liter of water. So time taken to empty 99,000 upon 28 liters of water will be 7 upon 25 into 99,000 upon 28. So you 25 into 28 if you do, it is 700. So we are left with 693,000 upon 700. Cancel out these two zeros. So and divide 6930 by 7. So you get 990 seconds. So if we convert this into minutes, it is 990 upon 60 minutes, and that is equal to 16.5 minutes. Alright. So time taken to empty half the tank is 16.5 minutes. So pretty conversions are there in the sum, but not very difficult. If you go through the sum once again, it will be easy for you to solve. Now children, the remaining 3 sums from the solved examples, they are based on frustrum, and I told you in the previous video lecture that this part of the lesson, that is frustrum of a cone, is been deleted from the syllabus of our mathematics for this particular year. So those 3 sums we will not do, that is not for us. So here our chapter is over. We have solved maximum sums from the chapter, and I have a suggestion that please start from the first video lesson itself, and once you see the sum here on the screen, try to solve it on your own. Make a notebook, and every sum you should solve, because it is very, very important that each and every sum from the chapter you should do for the preparation of your examination. So all the exercise 13.1, 13.2, 13.3, make sure that you are solving all the sums. You have got solution of all the sums in all the videos, so please do it. And for your information again, the list of the formulas are again given to you. Please, as I told you, make a chart of this, put the chart on your table, read the formulas every day, by heart it, because this chapter is totally based on formulas. If you remember it thoroughly, solving the sums are not very difficult. So I hope you will do it and keep practicing. In the next video lesson, we will begin with the new chapter. So till then, keep revising and take care.